They dressed her like a queen, paraded her in pearls, and promised her the spotlight. But in Season 3, Episode 4 of The Gilded Age, something breaks, and it's not just Gladys Russell's spirit. The trailer doesn't shout her downfall, it whispers it, cold and sharp like a knife in the back. In just a few seconds, viewers saw enough to know Gladys is not just in trouble. She's about to be ruined. The trailer opens with lavish scenes, ballrooms glowing with golden light, orchestras playing, women twirling in silk gowns. And then, in the middle of it all, a shot of Gladys standing alone. Her face is pale. Her smile doesn't reach her eyes. For a moment, she looks like the same confident young woman we saw rise through New York's toughest social ranks. But then a whisper passes through the crowd. Heads turn, fans close. People begin to move away, almost as if Gladys has become invisible or worse. Scandalous. Next, we see Bertha Russell. She's standing at the top of the staircase, jaw tight, eyes narrowed. She doesn't rush to her daughter's side, she doesn't smile. Instead, she stares like someone watching her plans fall apart. It's a clear signal. Something massive has happened, and Bertha didn't see it coming. Could this mean she no longer has control over her daughter's choices? Or did Gladys defy her in the most dangerous way? One quick shot shows a crumpled letter in Gladys's hand. She's tearing it apart in what looks like panic. That letter might be the heart of the entire scandal. Was it from a forbidden lover? A threat? A secret exposed? The trailer doesn't tell us, but it wants us to guess. And that's what makes it so powerful. Just when we think we understand this world of rules and reputations, someone breaks them and pays the price. Then, for less than 2 seconds, we see a man someone knew. Young, handsome, clearly not from the same upper-class circle. He's watching Gladys from a corner, almost hidden behind a pillar. Could he be the reason for her fall? Did she fall in love with someone unapproved by society or by her mother? This mystery man may be poor or connected to a rival family. One thing is clear, his eyes aren't just watching her. They're filled with guilt or maybe regret. The music in the trailer shifts, the violins turn sharp, the lighting darkens. It's no longer about beauty and glitter, it's about shame and shock. Another short scene shows Gladys running through a hallway, clutching her skirts. No words are spoken. But her breathing is heavy and her tears are real. That one moment says more than any dialogue could. She is trying to escape something. Or someone. And finally, just before the trailer ends, we hear a single line of dialogue. It's Bertha's voice. "You had one duty, Gladys, and now look what you've done." The camera cuts to black. That's it. No more clues. No more comfort. This isn't just drama, it's a warning. Episode 4 is setting up a turning point, not just for Gladys, but for the entire Russell family. In a world where image is everything, being ruined doesn't just hurt your reputation, it ends your place in society. And in the Gilded Age, that's a fate worse than death. Asterisk, what if the downfall wasn't just a mistake, but a trap? Viewers are already spinning theories after the Episode 4 trailer dropped, and the one name on everyone's lips is Gladys Russell. But this time, it's not admiration, it's scandal. How did the girl, who was once the crown jewel of Newport society, become its latest casualty? The trailer hints at something deeper, something dangerous, and maybe even planned. Some fans believe the letter we saw Gladys tear apart in the trailer wasn't just romantic, it was blackmail. Perhaps someone from her past, or even a jealous rival, dug up a secret to use against her. Remember, the Russell family has enemies. Bertha's rise in society has made her a target, and that means her daughter is too. If Gladys trusted the wrong person, even for a moment, that mistake could now be playing out in front of all of New York. There's another clue in her body language. Gladys doesn't look angry, she looks betrayed. Her tears aren't of shame, they're of heartbreak, which points to one very likely scenario, a forbidden romance. The mystery man in the trailer isn't just a random extra. His placement is too specific, his expression too intense. Could he be from a working-class background? Could he be married? Or worse, tied to a scandal of his own? If Gladys was caught sneaking around with him, that alone could destroy her social standing. Even worse if she tried to run away or elope, But here's where the theory gets even more twisted. What if Bertha knew? What if this wasn't a surprise, but a setup? Bertha Russell has always played the game of society like a general plays war. Maybe she discovered the romance and allowed it to reach the public eye just to teach her daughter a brutal lesson. It wouldn't be the first time she used humiliation as a weapon. And in a world where marriages are strategic, not romantic, Bertha might see this public ruin as a reset button, wiping out all the nonsense and forcing Gladys to fall back in line. Another possibility, one much darker, is that Gladys is being framed. A forged letter, a staged rumor. A planted piece of gossip designed to make her look guilty. Why? Because destroying Gladys also means damaging Bertha's influence. Perhaps this is a move by another powerful family who wants to knock the Russells off their golden throne. Maybe it's the Van Ryns, maybe it's Ward McAllister's circle, or maybe it's someone even closer, and let's not forget the timing. The episode seems to fall right at the peak of the season's social calendar. That means maximum exposure, maximum witnesses. Whoever planned this chose the moment carefully because they wanted Gladys's shame to echo through every ballroom in the city, but is she ruined forever? That's the question. In the Gilded Age, reputations can crumble overnight, but they can also rise from the ashes. Some viewers think this ruin might be the start of a stronger Gladys. A girl no longer controlled by her mother, no longer bound by society's tight rules. The tearful girl we see in the trailer may be the last time she cries. Because sometimes a public fall is just the first step toward real power, and that's what makes this story so unpredictable. Was she careless? Was she tricked? Or was she simply brave enough to love in a world that punishes love? *1 Girls. Scandal can poison an entire empire, and that's exactly what's happening now. Gladys's fall from grace isn't just her personal disaster. It's a crack spreading through the marble columns of high society, shaking the reputations of those around her. In the world of the Gilded Age, no one stands alone, and when someone like Gladys collapses, others tumble with her. Let's start with Bertha Russell. This was the season where she finally stood on equal ground with old money elites. After years of clawing her way into the upper class with diamonds, dinners, and brutal strategy, Bertha was almost untouchable. But now, her daughter's ruin throws a shadow over everything she built. Whispers are already rising. If Bertha couldn't control her own daughter, can she really control a guest list? Can she be trusted as a patroness of the arts? Or worse, did she encourage her daughter's rebellion? Whether she fights back or hides behind a mask, Bertha's position is no longer bulletproof. Then there's George Russell. As the powerful railroad tycoon, he's used to fighting battles in boardrooms, not ballrooms. But this is a war of image, and money can't silence every rumor. If his daughter is seen as scandalous, his business deals might be questioned. Investors fear instability. And nothing says instability like a ruined debutante in the headlines. He may have to step into the social world more directly now, not just as a father, but as a man trying to keep his empire clean. The Van Ryn household won't escape untouched either. Agnes and Ada have always walked the tightrope between social respectability and quiet judgment. And now that Marion is becoming closer to the Russells, this scandal could drag her down too. Society doesn't differentiate between friendship, and guilt association alone is enough to tarnish a reputation. Marion, who once stood as a symbol of quiet dignity, might now be seen as someone who consorts with the ruined. And what about Larry Russell? He's Bertha's golden boy, the rising star of the family. If he's connected to his sisters, humiliation, or worse, if he knew and said nothing, his own future in society could take a hit. That means fewer invitations, fewer allies, and fewer opportunities to climb. Some fans even believe Larry might already be entangled. Perhaps he introduced Gladys to the mysterious man. Or perhaps he tried to help her escape something darker. Either way, silence is guilt in the eyes of New York's elite. Even the side characters stand to gain or lose something. Mrs. Astor, always calculating, might use this to pull her influence tighter. Ward McAllister might shift his loyalties to a safer name. And those families Bertha once stepped on during her rise? They're watching, waiting, ready to close the gates, beyond the drawing rooms and dinner parties. This scandal shakes the entire balance between old money and new. The Russells were the proof that wealth and determination could rewrite the rules. But if Gladys is now a cautionary tale, then those gates between them and us may slam shut again. Society might recoil, tighten, and punish anyone who dares step out of place. And yet there's a twist. Scandal also brings attention, sympathy, power, if handled right. If Gladys owns her story, instead of hiding from it, she might find a strange new kind of influence. One that doesn't require ballroom approval. One built on honesty, heartbreak, and resilience. The question now is, will society push her out? Or will she push back? This isn't just a scandal, this is a turning point. The Gilded Age has always thrived on elegance, power, and secrets. But episode 4 feels different. It doesn't just shake the table, it flips it over. What's coming next may not be a redemption arc. It could be a revolution. And it might begin with the girl they tried to bury. Let's talk about what episode 5 could bring. If the trailer for episode 4 ends with Bertha's cold voice, you had one duty, Gladys. And now look what you've done? Then we know. The next episode will open with consequences. Bertha isn't the type to whisper behind closed doors. She punishes with precision. Will she exile her daughter from society until the rumors die down? Will she attempt to marry her off to save face? Or will she take control of the narrative, using Gladys's mistake as a weapon to bend others to her will? But what if Gladys has had enough? We've seen glimpses of her independence, her frustration at being paraded like a prize. What if she refuses to be saved this time? Episode 5 might not be about hiding the scandal, it could be about owning it. If she steps into the public eye and tells the truth about her romance, her heartbreak, or her betrayal, she could shift the power entirely. In a society built on lies, the truth might be the most shocking thing of all. There's also the looming mystery. Who caused this ruin? If it was an enemy, someone from another family, or a rival debutante, we might see the beginning of a deeper feud, a private war fought in letters, rumors, and elegant backstabbing. If the scandal was a setup, episode 5 could begin to reveal the puppet master. And fans are already guessing, is it Mrs. Winterton, seeking revenge for Bertha's social dominance? Is it Ward McAllister, tired of the Russell family's defiance of tradition? Or is it someone we haven't even noticed yet, someone who's been smiling too sweetly, watching too closely? There's another possibility, the man from the trailer. He could reappear in episode 5, not as a villain, but as a lifeline. If Gladys dares to defy everything, her family, society, and the rules, he might be the only one standing beside her. That kind of love story would be risky, messy, and unforgettable. The Gilded Age isn't afraid of transformation. It's not just about pretty gowns and proper manners, it's about power shifting in real time. Gladys's story could spark something we haven't seen yet, the rise of a new kind of woman. One who doesn't wait for a proposal or a place at the table, one who builds her own world out of the pieces of her shame. As for Bertha and George, their empire may look untouchable, but cracks are starting to show. If they respond with control and cruelty, they could lose more than social standing. They could lose their children. And once the illusion of perfection breaks, even the richest homes can feel like cages. Our final prediction? Episode 5 won't give closure, it will deepen the wound. We'll see alliances break, new enemies rise, and possibly a shocking choice from Gladys that no one saw coming. Whether she flees, fights, or flips the narrative, one thing is certain, the girl they thought was ruined may just become the one who rewrites the rules.